Did you know that the average cost of childcare in our area is almost up to $300 a week per child? Leaving the question, why is it getting so expensive just to be able to go to work? Well, let's unfold the problem. Lizzie Gilman, a mother of 3, said even with a 2-income household, it doesn't cut it. She recently had to leave her job because she just couldn't afford to work.
I was looking at childcare where it was like almost $300 per child. And that's $900 a week, and that is like the majority of my paycheck, which I can't afford to do. So pulling Sage out of daycare and staying home with all 3 of my smaller children for the summer was like the best option for me right now.
Lizzie knows firsthand the problems in childcare as she was working at the Youth Development Center in Rhinelander. She said it's unfortunate, but one of the reasons there is such a long wait list for childcare is due to not having enough staff.
There are a lot of staffing issues in the childcare facility where staff are working, overtime, 5 days a week, 50 hours a week just to cover like people not being there, and the wages in childcare are just lacking where people can't even afford to do childcare as an option career because you're just not making enough.
Abby Klein, the School Age and Mission Advancement Director at the YMCA in Rhinelander, spoke on behalf of the Youth Development Center and the Oneida County Child Care Coalition Project.
The business model of childcare has always been kind of broken. It's never truly been a business where you can make a profit or turn a profit on.
Emergency relief funding such as Child Care Counts was implemented during the pandemic. But those state-funded programs are coming to an end.
It's really helped them stay afloat and then meet the rising costs of essentially life in general, because gas, groceries, all of that has gone up.
Abby said kids go through a lot of consumables, from food to activities. With funding being cut, she fears having to revert to staff providing for the centers.
A lot of child care facilities have been counting on those funds.
Let's break it down. Say you are charging $200 a week per infant. To be able to work in an infant classroom with 4 infants maximum, alone, you need to be a lead teacher.
200 times 4, $800. That $800 has to cover your staff's wages, which should be at a minimum $15 per hour, but there's few people that want to work for that.
A lead teacher is required to have an associate's degree in early childhood education or a credential.
They are not working for $15 an hour. They want to work more for maybe $20, because they have that knowledge and expertise to deserve that livable wage.
And this is just wages. That's not including providing supplies like diapers, wipes, formula, baby food, toys, and equipment such as cribs, high chairs, and even down to the simplest needs for activities like paint and paper.
The room, the facility, to include your heat, your water, your gas, your electric, your garbage removal, or any benefits that you could provide the employee. It's all of these things that $800, if you're looking at an infant room, is not going to cover.
Abby said the high turnover rate with staff comes at a large financial loss because facilities invest in employees' continued education, which is a minimum of 15 hours per calendar year to meet the qualifications. And when that loss happens, the facility must start over and invest in a new person. So, how does this affect the families who need access to childcare?
So that's the hardest part. And every single child care professional will tell you that they hate raising rates. Nobody likes doing it.
Abby said it's not fair to families, but unfortunately, there isn't another option.
We know that they can't necessarily afford what it is that we need them to pay in order to be able to provide high quality care. But unfortunately, it is the reality. We have to run a business.
Leaving families to make those tough decisions, and also staff members to decide whether or not they can even afford to work anymore.
Even if it's not directly affecting you in your life, it's probably affecting somebody that you know. And nobody has the right answer. But there's gotta be a way that we can support our early childhood or our child care programs in general, so that we're then supporting our economy, because it's not just a child care issue, it's an economic issue.
Stay tuned tomorrow as we talk to the Oneida County Economic Development Corporation about the economic struggle largely affected by the rising costs and lack of childcare.